Hey folks, if you follow my channel at all and you watch me build guitars on the regular, you're gonna notice this is a little bit of a break from the norm. I've got a guitar build today, but it's a little bit of a different kind. What I've got is this Fender Stratocaster, but it's a Lego guitar. It's from one of their ideas sets, which is made to be kind of a adult Legos, or at least that's what I like to tell myself. And I got this as a present for a recent anniversary, so let's give it a shot and see if we can put this thing together today. Let's see if we can get in here. Alright, so the first thing I always do is hunt out the instructions. Oh cool, it comes with a sticker. That's nice. So the instruction book has, it looks like, a little bit of history of Fender, talking a little bit about some guitarists at Lego, and then it starts right into the instructions. It looks like there's 12 bags of parts, and it looks like you'll get the chance to build a guitar stand, a basic sort of neck and set of pickups, like sort of the center of a guitar, an amplifier, and then you'll get to build one of two bodies, it looks like, that you can use in combination with the neck and centerpiece of the guitar. So yeah, let's get started. Looks like the first thing they start with is the stand, and that's bag one. Well, this one has plenty of small parts. Looks like things start out with the longest piece in the pack and build from there. I think these parts kind of come from some of their Technic sets or similar types of sets, and so we have a lot of these in the house. But it's just kind of fun to see how they can use these various shapes to produce new ideas, and that's exactly what the idea sets are about. I always treat this as not a race to build this as fast as I can, but sometimes it can turn into that. Okay, well, that's all of bag one. As is usual with Lego, you usually end up with about one of each of some of the smaller pieces, and that's normal. It's come out to be a pretty nice little piece. It's like a kind of a collapsible guitar stand, so that's pretty cool, and that is going to help it keep it stable. So I like that. Let's move on to the guitar itself, which is going to start apparently with bag two. I can already tell in bag two there's a few specialized pieces that look like they make up the fretboard, maybe some of the pickups and things like that. It's all about the graphics on this section, so I'm gonna have to pay attention to which parts of the neck go where. I've already done something wrong, so you have to pay attention to this. Now, if you do make a mistake, that's what this little piece is. Usually these things are orange, but for some reason in this one it's turquoise or aqua or something. But this is your separator piece, so you can separate those pieces you stuck together accidentally. This section has a lot of small parts. It's something that I always tell my kids when they're building with these and they're working with these small parts, is to pay attention to the orientation of the diagram and the instructions. So when you're building, make sure you've always got the piece oriented in the same way that they recommend on the page. That solves so much confusion. It keeps you from putting things in the wrong spot. Gotta pay attention to the logos here, because it looks like this is going to be my headstock. So this kind of has that familiar Stratocaster headstock shape. It's a little bit exaggerated on the ball end, but it still kind of has that treble clef feel. So I guess now it's time for the fingerboard. Now this is where knowing something about guitars would help you do this. Basically, the widest sections between the frets are at the top of the neck, and the narrowest are at the bottom of the neck, so you can already tell what kind of where these are supposed to go. And the dot markers should match up too. So you should have a dot marker at 3, 5, 7, and 9. So 1, 2, 3, and then there should be one here, 4, and then 5. So that's probably the next one there, right? 7, 9. Then you'll move on to 10 and 11, which don't have any marker at all. Then 12 should have 2 markers. Moving on. So this is the completed piece from bag 2. Again, it's the neck and the headstock, and then the body. That's some of the pick guard and the pickups, and maybe a little bit of the bridge. But definitely not complete without the actual bodies of the guitar themselves. And like I said, I think there's 2 options for that, a black and a red. So we'll get on with the rest of this. By the way, when you get done with every bag, you're going to have some of these small parts. If you have more than one of the same thing, or if you have something that's larger than, a tiny piece, then you probably missed something and you'll have to go back. I actually did miss this back piece right here and had to go back and put that on. So just be careful when you're doing this kind of stuff, that you pay attention, and all you're left with at the end is just a few stray small parts. Alright, looks like we're on to building bodies next. So we can choose either the red Strat or the black Strat. And I think I'm going to go with the red one. These do use some common parts in each of the 2 bodies, so it looks like you are going to have to make a choice here. So I'm going to go with red and bags 3 and 4. Okay, well this was a little bit hard to find. Actually bag 4 was easy, but bag 3 is kind of a small bag with tiny parts. And then of course there's this unlabeled bag here that has my guitar strings in it, and it tells me that I'm going to need those here too. So these are the parts you need for this section. Wow, okay, so bag 3 was a little tougher, or bag 4 I guess, actually. Everything was the same color, and a lot of the pieces look the same, so I definitely had this sort of peninsula here that was oriented the wrong direction, but I got that corrected, and I think I have everything looking right, and it looks like it's calling for the strings here pretty soon. This is proving to be kind of a pain. Each one of the strings is color coded, and they use both a gold and a yellow color code, which threw me off in the instructions a little bit. 5 of the strings are connected to this piece that actually sits here on the body, and then there's one that's actually separate, and looks like it comes in from the side on this piece here. And I'm assuming that will get locked together better somehow, because it's not very well locked right now. Now this is confusing to me. So you have to flip it over, so that's no problem. But these wrap over the heads, or over the bridge, and attach to the headstock like that. You gotta try to keep the strings in between these little teeth on the end of the body of the guitar. And these again are color coded, so do these one at a time. Oh, I see. So the recommendation is to tune these in a way so you are directed to sort of tighten them up almost like you would a regular guitar in order to keep them tight on the fretboard. Whoop. Gotta be careful though, they'll fall off easily. Okay, well I have to say this is a pain in the butt, but you have to take these color-coded dots off of the strings and get these gray ones on there instead. And it's kind of a pain to get each one of these off, so I think I'm just going to have to do them one at a time. Okay, that's about as good as I can make it look. You can't really tighten these all the way, and the sixth string, or I guess the first string, actually sort of falls off the end of the bridge, so it's not a perfect situation. It looks like I might actually have the bridge on there a little bit wrong. Let me fix that. This is about as good as I can get it, but this last string falls off the edge of the nut area, and that's my main complaint about that. It looks pretty good. I think maybe even over time it might look better, but that's my main complaint. Otherwise, I think it's a pretty accurate reproduction of a guitar, as much as you can do in Legos. Now we're on to bag 6 and bag 7, which should complete the body. Oh, and by the way, when you finish with this bag, which I think was bag 4, something like that, but anyway, you'll have a lot of these little colored dots, especially because you had to take them off the strings to finish that part of the build. You know, it definitely helps to know what the shape of a Stratocaster is, because if you mess up in an area, you can sort of tell by the trademark shape of the body what you did wrong. Okay, cool. And that's the basic body shape of the guitar, and it looks like now what they've got me working on are the tuners on the back and the back plate and the neck plate. So there's a sticker sheet that would be easy to miss if you had just taken the bag for the instructions apart, and it was kind of hiding behind the other sticker. Okay, cool. Well, that's the guitar. Um, if I have to review anything, I'll have to say that the jack and the switch are pretty lame. They don't really reproduce the actual jack or switch on a Stratocaster at all. They just look like leftover parts from the Lego bin, but everything else looks pretty cool on it, and I definitely appreciate the special printed pickups that they made. The strap's kind of nice too. It's kind of a combination of the old Fender strap and a little bit of a Lego twist. So anyway, that's pretty cool. On to the next thing. Alright, so now with the guitar out of the way, I'm working on the amp, which starts with bag 9. So the detail on the amp is actually kind of amazing. I'm guessing this is like a reverb coil or something that I'm building. Like a true spring reverb. So not too many spare parts in bag 9, just one little piece. Now we're on to bag 10. This is going to be tedious. You have to build the grill cloth out of these little pieces. Lord, that was 82 of those pieces. So I've completed bag 10. I'm just going to make sure really quickly that I didn't do something wrong and leave these out, because I have a lot of extra parts, but it could just be something that carries over from bag 10 to bag 11. So let me check. I did forget the front of the grill here. Much better. Moving on. Bag 11. So the serial number here says 462020. So the detail that's coming together in the amp is pretty intense, and I like it, but it's very tedious to put together, I will say that. Well, I had to stop the camera for a minute because I gotta tell you, I mean, there's a lot of parts in this set that look real similar. Like, all three of these are different pieces, and actually, there's another one. They're all different pieces, but only some of them, like, they're black, dark gray, and light gray, and the differences in the gray don't show up well in the instructions. But I'm reasonably sure that I am short one of these 4 dark gray pieces, because they go in here in the back next to this dark gray piece in a row, and it wouldn't make sense for there to be a different color one or a different color than that in these 5 pieces. So I'm definitely short a piece. Not happy about that, but I'll substitute it with the next best thing I have and just keep going. Alright, well, so far so good. It's looking pretty great. I'm not super happy about that one piece that was missing, but at the end of the day, I don't think it matters that much. You really can't even see it. Through the back, it's completely invisible. Next up is bag 12. And in addition, they want you to use 4 of these chords. I can't tell right now. There's actually 5 of these chords in the pack, so I can't tell right now if that's an extra or not. There's also a couple of long tubes that you need. So the cords go from the speaker jack to the speaker, and I guess the reverb jacks to the reverb tank, which is kind of cool. Alright, well, here is the completed set, and I gotta say, it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of little features that are really nice. It's got, you know, like a little working trim arm. It doesn't move the bridge, but it's nice that it works, and it's got a little switch that moves. The tuners sort of rotate. The amp's got a lot of cool features. You know, you can open it up and see all the components inside the amp. It's got a little miniature reverb tank that you can see. It's got all the little jacks and all the little connections that you would expect to see. It's even got the little amp feet and the handle and the straps for the head to bolt up into the chassis there. It's got a little foot switch. It even comes with a few little guitar picks that they sort of give you, and you can stuff them up here in the headstock if you want. I mean, the attention to detail on this is really good, and I gotta say, it probably only took me, I don't know, a couple hours to build it. It's I think a little bit over 1,000-piece set, and of course you can build the black one instead. So if you really wanted to, you could take this apart and attack the black one, because the black one, you know, whichever one you don't use, you're going to end up with a few extra bags. Pretty cool little build. I really appreciate you guys watching. You know, normally I do like real guitar builds on my channel, so if you're into that sort of thing, be sure to hit the subscribe button and you can follow some of those. See you guys next time.